Hey guys, Jacob Munden here with Rising Sun Adventures. I wanted to talk with you a little bit today about custom gun fit um, and go over a few things that I have to do personally to my shotguns off the shelf. No matter what gun it is that I shoot, I have to make a few alterations to the gun so that I can get on target. One of the first things that I struggle with, and a lot of people do, that's kind of why I'm doing this video, is I need a long length of pull and I need a big drop at comb to be able to get a good sight plane down the barrel. And most shotguns off the shelf don't provide that. You know, if you think about a gun builder, they're making a gun for the average sized person. And most people that are taller, have long arms, long necks, and are a little bit more lengthy, they tend to have a hard time finding shotguns that fit them without doing some custom work to them. Okay, for me, I had to increase the length of pull on this shotgun. This is a Winchester Super X4 Upland, and it came with 2 additional shims to lengthen out the stock, and I put them both in. To find out what your length of pull is, you want to mount the gun to where you have a good firm cheek mount right in the pocket of your shoulder, looking down the barrel, and you want 1.5 to 2 finger widths between your thumb and your nose. That's a perfect length of pull. Kind of the old way to check that was to put the gun in your elbow here and just line up your finger to the trigger, and that's a second way to check, and that fits good for me there. So with those 2 shims, that lengthened it out just right for me. Without those, it's way too tight, and in fact my nose would be right down on my thumb and bump my nose. That shows that your length of pull is too short. Okay. The other big alteration that I have to make on almost all shotguns I shoot is I need a very high rib on my barrel. Now the Super X4, some of the Benellis, a couple of the Beretta models, and the new Mossberg 940, they have, Savage Renegade that just came out, have raised ribs that come on the gun that help. And for years I've kind of got by, but I tend still to look down on the rib, which causes me to shoot high. Now unfortunately with this gun right off the shelf, I do that. But the second problem I had with this gun is this just natural point of impact on this gun out of the box was what we call an 80-20 pattern. So 80% of the pattern shot high above the target and 20% shot below. For field hunting, I like to have either a 50-50 pattern or a 60-40 pattern. And so I needed to bring down the point of impact on this gun anyway, regardless of if it fit me or not. But because it didn't fit me and I needed a taller rib to increase the drop from the rib down to the stock, I had to investigate and find someone that could build me a custom rib for this gun. Now I'll give you the name of the company I use. They're in Bakersfield, California. Keene Sights, K-E-E-N-E, Keene Sights, and they do all kinds of traps, sporting clays, competitive shooting, rails, and vent ribs for all kinds of different applications. But they take your dimensions. I did a little test shooting and used a template made out of some wood and 1/4-inch doweling that I put on here and got an idea on what I thought the rib needed to be. And for me, it was about a 3/8 increase on top of what I already had. But the other issue that we wanted to address was we wanted to lower that point of impact. So if you look at this rib that they put on this gun, it's actually 3/8 here in the front and it's a 1/4-inch here in the back. So it's CNC'd and it's tapered. And what that does is it drops the point of impact on my gun. So with 3/8 here, obviously I'm gonna be aiming, you don't aim a shotgun, but my point of impact is going to be here where that red bead is, so it's a little higher, which is going to bring my barrel down a little bit and lower that point of impact. At the same time, the 1/4-inch here still allows me to have a good sight picture down the receiver and down the barrel, and it lines everything up. So I just got this back yesterday, to be exact, from Keene Sights, and I went out and I put it on paper. And sure enough, my 80-20 pattern, patterned at 25 yards, was down to a 50-50, maybe a 60-40, but probably closer to a 50-50, which for what I do and how I shoot, everyone shoots a little different. Everyone learns to either float under the bird, black out the bird. There's all different ways you learn to shoot, but for how I shoot, I like a 50-50 or a 60-40 pattern, and this did that perfectly. And it also really helped me line up with my long neck. I can just mount perfect, and that raised rib is right on my eyesight plane, right down the barrel. I shot 25 clays yesterday real quick, and only I think I missed one, but we had just excellent results. So with all of that said, if you have some questions about custom gun fit, always feel free to ask. That is the #1 variable to hitting targets, is does your gun fit you? So a shout out to Keen Sports, Vicky or Keen Sights. Vicky at Keen Sights did a phenomenal job working with me. Every order is custom. They work with you one-on-one to get the results you want, and we're going to be shooting a lot of birds this year. So hey, give us a call if you're interested. Our guided pheasant hunts are going to start up here in November. We've got lots of dogs this year. We've got lots of help. There's a lot of birds available, and we'll be out at Clyde Shooting Preserve again. Give us a call at 509-492-8852 if you're interested in some guided pheasant and chukar hunts. Thanks.